But I'd also like to say a special thank you to Keir Starmer for his endless support. Even when my dad died, they were there. Let me say, it is an honour, it is a privilege. I have been in Erdington for 35 years. I have had 5 children.
Just say that would be smiling this morning, wouldn't it? Put that down, say that back to me.
For Paulette Hamilton, who was duly elected Member of Parliament for the Birmingham Erdington constituency.
So you talk about the bullet or the vote. I'm not sure. Although I believe in the vote and I believe in our right to use that vote or destroy that vote, I'm not sure that we will get what we really deserve in this country using the vote. But I don't know if we are a strong enough group to get what we want to get. If we have an uprising, I think we will be quashed in such a way we could lose a generation of our young people. So I am very torn. I went away and watched the Malcolm X film to make sure, and listened to a lot of what he said to make sure I was ready. I'd like to say a special thank you to Naz Shah MP and Shabana Mahmood MP. We had Trojan horse in the council. Our Muslim brothers and sisters, for many, many years, you know, there were things out there saying that they had made a plan about how they were going to try and not integrate, but ensure that their teachings and what have you got into the system. What then happened was many of the schools, inner city schools in Birmingham, certain schools, the Muslim families, they filled the schools. They then ensured that they took over the governorships. As they took over the governorships, they made sure that the heads of those schools were people that they wanted to represent their cause. What they then did with doing all of this, it made sure that their religious views and their beliefs were taken through the education system. It was also then taken into politics. We have large numbers of Muslim councillors. We've got 2 MPs in this city that look after the need. Well, they don't, but they're supposed to look after the needs of a community. What has happened is they've got into positions of power and they've forgotten the reason they were put there in the first place. The problem with our community, we're not even on the map.
We're here today as part of Labour Friends of Kashmir supporting Paulette Hamilton, who is a brilliant candidate for Erdington.
They've got into positions of power and they've forgotten the reason they were put there in the first place.
And I'm here in Erdington to support our amazing candidate Paulette to win the Erdington by-election.
They've gone into positions of power and they've forgotten the reason they were put there in the first place. The poster vote is the way some of our ethnic minority communities actually lock it down. Because what they do is old families just have the postal vote. Whoever comes in says vote this one, tick, postal vote goes back, and in one household you can have 8 votes and it's on lockdown.
Conservative MP said you should suspend her for attending an event in 2015 called the Ballot or the Bullet. How do you respond to that?
Well, Paulette has explained that.
I expected an interview with her, but I was told early on in the evening that they won't be talking to GB News because of Harwood, meaning Tom Harwood, our reporter, and what he aired a couple of days ago about those comments she made in 2015.
It means the world. I am delighted.
But it was a very low turnout, wasn't it? Why do you think? Are people just fed up with politicians at the moment?
Well, by-elections very often will be conducted on a far, far lower turnout. Obviously, the national news isn't about there being an election. I very much found that when I was out on the doorstep yesterday, and that's very often the case with a by-election. What we did see happening yesterday was a really big swing towards Labour, a big swing towards Labour voters within that vote share. Really, really big swing to Labour there. And I'm very, very pleased that we obviously have that continued Labour representation. We've now got the first ever black MP in the Midlands. And she'll be continuing, really, the work of Jack Dormy, which was so highly respected. She's a very, very similar kind of person, a very, very similar kind of MP. I can see that already.
The bullet or the vote, I'm not sure.
She's got a bit of a history, though, of inflammatory language, and she's talked in the past about whether an uprising, that's her term, might help black people more than democratic politics.
Well, actually, that was one clip from one event that took place many, many years ago. It was taken out of context. She's made clear that she apologises for any offence, and also that she regrets the use of some of the words that she used. So she's made that clear. And I would say, this is one clip from, as I say, many, many years ago. Actually, I think people should look at her record of delivery, and when they do that, they see that she's worked very hard for all of Birmingham's community.
It's the little things that you do to help your community that people remember.